Welcome back, everybody. My name is Predator54, aka Adam, coach from the Chesney Park Slowpokes, and today I bring you the draft analysis for Latios Alpha. This is the more hyper-competitive league with, honestly, everybody in this division has at least one championship. Some have 6, some have 7, some have a lot. One has two championship back-to-back and almost three-peated in one league itself. So, all in all, it's going to be very, very interesting. We get 10 to 11 Mons for 115 points. Terra budget is 30. It's Terra tax system, so the Terra price comes out of both budgets, so we have to plan accordingly. But I ended up being like pick 8th, like dead middle where I love to be. So this is definitely going to be an interesting experience. So I ended up round 1 taking Cinderace, but that was for a security pick because it was never making it to Brandon P. So I ended up trading him Cinderace and Grace immediately for Dragonite. I just wanted a bulky dragon, that's it. With E-Speed, with Dragon Dance Scale Shot, with coverage galore. This thing was 15 points, and honestly, I'm content. This was what was traded to me for Cinderace. I'm happy. Because after all is said and done, I can still outpace the Cinderace after a DD and blow it back, regardless if I play behind. And granted, my roster is my schedule is nothing but champions and 2 people that are runner-ups. I couldn't say no, apparently, to being in the other division. So I'm just going to get absolutely blasted back in this division. Hopefully not too badly. Hopefully I can at least make playoffs. But I at least want 2 wins with this team. But Dragonite for 15 points is well worth it. And then mid-drafting one of my friends and teammates, unfortunately this was a Saturday during draft, found out he was murdered. And this was one of his favorite Pokemon. So in honor of Cody, I ended up getting Quack with Terra. Like, it's rough. Still not over the fact that he was set to be married next month. And now that's a wedding I don't get to, unfortunately, attend. But life happens. But Quackable gives me access to Aqua Step, Open Terra Preview, access to Rapid Spin for removal, access to Triple Axle, access to Acrobatics, Air Slash, gives me access to Flip Turn, Knockoff, gives me access to not only CC, but Upper Hand as well, and Aqua Jet after Swords Dance, can always pick things off, but at the end of the day, a single Moxie boost, if you don't have anything unaware or something that can check me, this thing just takes a game away on its own. So you have to perfectly time this, you have to get rid of its walls, and call it a day. But for 20 points of my 30 Terra budget, Quackable was well worth it. Next, we got Excadrill. I ended up taking Excadrill in one of my other drafts, all literally minutes apart from each other. I was up in bulk, I figured might as well take it in bulk. So I have it here and in the Sword and Shield draft, which is hilarious. But all in all, Excadrill is phenomenal Pokemon. This thing is only 13 points this gen. It kind of lost some coverage that it had in Sword and Shield, so it's less of a threat now. But Sand is nothing to scuff at, being able to just Sand Rush my way through teams, access to Mold Breaker, set up hazards on Mons like Hatterene unless its ability shield, being able to smack Levitate Mons with Earthquake is just absolutely amazing with Mold Breaker. But all in all, incredibly good, incredibly strong, 88 speed is nothing to scuff at, and we're going to hop on into Mon number 3. Same thing. Had this literally picked the same thing I did in Sword and Shield at the same time as this. So I ended up getting T-Tar. This is the post-nerf T-Tar, so this only gets Dragon Dance and T-Wave, but this thing gained knockoff this gen and Power Jam, which is incredibly good for it. It did not have a special rock move outside of Meteor Beam, so now it can just spam Power Jam if it needs to. Still maintained everything else. Lost counter though, but this thing being 13 points, allowing me to have a Sand Core plus Pocket Aqua Jet. Well, basically the Sand can wear things down, Quackable comes in, and yada yada, we get the ball rolling. That and having a Spadef tank is amazing that can set Stealth Rocks. I'll take it. Next, this is where it took a weird turn. We got Galar Weezing. This allows me to have Levitate, allows me to have Neutralizing Gas, and allows me to have Misty Terrain. Misty Terrain prevents the rest of my team from getting status, so that means Quackable can't get Wisp, it can't get T-Waved, it can't get poisoned. This even gives me access to T-Spikes as well. So I can set hazards on, I can defog, I can do a lot of things with this. Granted, it doesn't have the best coverage galore, but it gained play rough this gen, so it can run physical, which is 5 base power than its special. But all not bad. You can viably run the Gyro Ball set with play rough and not have to worry about like rock types and opposing fairies. You can hit psychic types pretty reasonably. Granted, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but access to Destiny Brawn is kind of clutch. You can run Endure Custap, take something with you 1v1, and call it a day. A lot of tech. You can run Misty Seed and just provide support for the whole team, and I believe it gets screens too. But all in all, not bad. That was 9 points, and then we got, Weezing was 11 points. This was also 11 points. So, this disguises T-Tar. You go for a fighting type move, does nothing. Alright, now I'm blowing you back with extra sensory. Your fighting type's gone. Or I'm just nasty potting in your face and hammering lead. This even gets access to Sword Stance, Shadow Sneak with and Poltergeist and Body Slam, so it can be wearing physical or special. Access to Nasty Plot, access to Bitter Malice, Icy Wind, and Will-O-Wisp. It's phenomenal. So this thing can also be disguised as T-Tar, eat a fighting type move, well, be immune to it, and then hit a Will-O-Wisp off on the fighting type. Now it's one less of a threat coming into the Sand team. I'll take it. And then we drafted Armorus. If this was 1 point less, I would have made this a Terra Captain. Unfortunately, you can't. That was a typo on my part. I didn't realize I forgot to change Armorus and Shadowledge's points. But it is what it is. So we ended up, this was 12 with Terra, which was out of my budget. This was 11 with Terra, which is out of my budget instead of 10. But it's fine. Armorers can still do Armorers things with weak armor and spam Armor Cannon, Energy Ball, expanding Force into teams. Gets access to Aura Spear and Focus Blast as well. You can just be incredibly annoying with it, and it's the special variant of Sterilage, basically. Gets access to Flash Fire as well for the team, and a Fighting Resist. I can weak armor proc a fighting type move that is going into my Excadrill and T-Tar, and have fun, and just blow things back. This being Fire and Psychic is just amazing for this team, and we are going to hop on in. This thing was 9 points. Next, we took our Terra Captain. Open Terra Sceptile and Misty Seed. Simple as that. It's Terra Preview. I can get the perfect Terra that I need to accommodate the matchup, and then Ultimate Speed Control outside of Trick Room. So being able to just nuke something both physical and special wise is nice. You can run mixed with max attack, max special attack. You can run Leaf Storm to counteract bulky physical mons, and Sword Stance, Acrobatics for everything else. Not bad. Not bad at all. Well worth the 8 points with Terra. And then we got Earthworm. We wanted spikes, we wanted stealth rocks, we wanted iron defense body press spam. Heavy slam hits harder than you think it does. And most importantly, the ground immunity that gives health back. That is incredibly valuable. Granted, this is weak to fire and fighting still. We'll take it. We have 3 Rons incredibly weak to fighting. We have a lot of resists to fire, and we're just gonna let the ball roll. Earthworm was 6 points. I had 9 points left after the, well, at this time with Cinderace I had 8 points left, but post Grace I had 1 point and 2 Terra points left. We ended up picking up Gastrodon for 8 points. Gastrodon gets access to Storm Drain, which is a water immunity, gets access to Sand Force, so this thing could be annoying, incredibly annoying. You can spam Earth Power, you can spam Surf, you can spam Ancient Power and Rock Slide that are all boosted into your opponent. A Sand Force boosted Earth Power is guaranteeing kills on fire types. You can say that right now. This thing gets access to Ice Beam and Icy Wind, Spikes, Spikes and Rocks, which I'll take. Granted, it's incredibly slow, but access to Recover and Rocky Helmet and being a bulky son of a bitch, I'll take. But oh no, that's not bad. That's the team. But here's the funny part. After all said and done, when's the last time you've seen this? There is no weakness to this team, according to this type chart. But the type charts don't mean anything. And honestly, it's hilarious. It is incredibly hard to have it be all green. But I love it. But the last time I did this was early SV, and I ended up going like 2-7. And YCL got blown back a lot, but it is what it is. These are our speed tiers displayed here. This is all the immunities we have, which is just a lot. This team just says, nah, we're good. But anyways, like and subscribe if you haven't, and enjoy, and I hope you enjoy the team. And we will be facing Sable 9, aka Sableye 21, coach of the Grand Rapid Spinners. But that should be interesting. I will catch you guys later. Have a good day.